Breaking news today. Despite their enthusiasm for Trump's CNN town hall, Putin's TV propagandists are in a gloomy mood. The TV propaganda puppets used by Vladimir Putin have been in a gloomy mood as of late. They have had to deal with Wagner Group leader Yevgeny Prigozhin's off-the-rail diatribes against the failures of Russian military leaders and the panic among Russian military bloggers over Ukrainian advances near Bakhmut and the delivery of long-range Storm Shadow missiles to Ukraine. A darker cloud looms over the situation, however, as it is unclear what effect Ukraine's impending counteroffensive will have given the influx of Western-supplied modern battle tanks and other advanced equipment. CNN's town hall with ex-President Donald Trump, who has been impeached twice and indicted once, so far, was a bright spot in an otherwise bleak environment. Neither Trump nor Trump as president would commit to sending aid to Ukraine if Russia continued its conflict with Ukraine. Avoiding the label of war criminal, he instead referred to Putin as a smart guy who made a tremendous mistake. That made Vladimir Solovyov, Putin's chief TV propagandist, very happy during a recent broadcast, when he said, "That's why I support Trump so much. Others are frightened of him." Despite the reporter's best efforts to prompt him with the question, "Who do you want to win?" Trump displayed an understanding of the world in which he lives and the need to carefully watch his words, which I greatly admire. But Trump is unstoppable. Next, a clip was shown in which CNN host Caitlin Collins asked Trump about Ukraine, with a Russian translation superimposed on top. After much thought, Solovyov said, "But Trump is a smarty." This clip, provided by Julia Davis, who keeps tabs on Russian state media, begins with Solovyov's comments about Trump. After that, RT director Margarita Simonyan has some lengthy comments that we'll get to in a bit. Here, we'll take a step back and analyze the inner workings of Russian propaganda. The main goal is to prevent direct criticism of Putin that would hold him responsible for the disastrous progress of the special military operation, the war in Ukraine. When enemy fire gets too close, deflector shields must be raised. The alarm bells are ringing as Ukraine prepares a counter-offensive that could prove disastrous for the under-equipped and demoralized Russian conscripts. On May 2, Meduza published the following story. The above video is an example of Simonyan, editor-in-chief of the Russian government-funded RT, adhering to these guidelines. She first stated that the war would end in a matter of days if the West stopped supporting Ukraine. "We're not fighting the Ukrainians, my friends. A year and a half ago, Ukraine ceased to exist. More than 50 countries, including all of NATO, stand between us and victory." The bad news, that Britain is supplying Ukraine with long-range missiles, was then acknowledged by her. She is disheartened that the missiles could strike her region of Krasnodar in southern Russia, where she lives, Simonyan said. Opposite Crimea across the Kerch Strait. Simonyan made a bad joke about the 2018 poisoning incident in Salisbury, England, while discussing how Russia should retaliate against Britain. "I could make a joke about how much my old friends Boshirov and Petrov miss Britain and how long it's been since they've seen the country's wonderful spires, but that would be unfair. Maybe they should go back, or at least bring their colleagues with them, whether they exist or not." Two Russian nationals, Ruslan Boshirov and Alexander Petrov, have been identified and charged in connection with the Novichok poisonings of Russian double agent Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia in 2018. The men claimed they were simply tourists who wanted to see the spire of Salisbury Cathedral on the day of the poisonings. The Skripals were not affected by the Novichok, but a British woman who handled the bottle that contained it did. Simonyan then criticized, without naming names, those who are causing strife within our patriotic camp, by thinking they can help through criticism.